Page 180, Romanze by Felix Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn wrote some beautiful stuff. His piano music, well, all of his stuff. But I would encourage you to check out his songs without words. Just there's some easy ones and some hard ones and slow ones and fast ones. There's a whole bunch of them. So just go through and kind of check them out. One of these days I'll get around to learning some of them again. I'm playing for the piano club, but I haven't got there yet. Maybe next year. I don't know. Well, let's talk about this Romanze thingamajigger. In the right hand, it's a 3/4 time. It's in the key of G minor. Isn't that nice? How do I know it's G minor, not B flat major? Well, because I'm magic, I don't know. Look at the end of the piece, the last two measures. The right hand has here the B flat G, and the left hand has this chord. That's G minor. Keep that in mind, because you might think I expect to hear major here. You're not going to. You're going to hear minor. So at the beginning, 5, 2, 3. I like this fingering in the right hand. 2, 3. I like using different fingers on repeated notes, especially when they're quick. But the rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you split it in half. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. But then with 16th notes, you got to split it in half again. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's that 16th note. So 1 and a 2 and 3. And the third measure, the little grace note, almost at the same time and on the beat. And then you see the slur on these eighth notes and the staccato, you're just going to separate them. And there's a crescendo there, so you're going to go up to the D. Go up to here and then come down. Legato. So that first line is here, softly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Next line is the same except for the last few notes in the last measure. Just ending here. Then the third line. Now it's legato. Now it's contrast. We like contrast. I've spoken of. So this is different. I play that grace note on the beat with second measure. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So you can do it that way. 1 and 2, and you put the short note in between those. 1 and 2 and 3. It's up to you how you count it, but just make them short. And then the next measure is your rest. 1 and 2. I like that on the 2 B's, because the first B there at the end, the B flat you're playing with second finger, and then third. So last 2 measures. Like so. Then on page 181, it's that thing against, it's the same thing you just had. This line is the same as the previous line, is what I'm trying to say in my own crazy way. Then second line, again we get with this dotted rhythm, 1 and 2. It's the same rhythm as what we just had, just different notes. See, the last 2 measures of the first line on page 181 is here, 1 and 2. And then going on, same rhythm, 1 and 2. And then you're back to where you were at the beginning, except now you're really soft. And here. Now as you crescendo, don't get too loud. And still very soft. And then again, get loud. And then the last, it's soft, and it says rit idem, retardando and diminuendo, means slow down and get even softer, so you're dying away. Just real soft, and do it all with the hands. Don't use the soft pedal, just use it all with hands. Now the left hand has mostly chords here, the primary chords. In G minor, the primary chords, 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. Or an inversion or something. So at the beginning, you're here, 5, 7, 1, then down. down here, and then here. E flat in the third measure, E flat, G, B flat. I do a 4 on the E flat. And then the last measure, this is a chord. All those 4 notes together. And then the F sharp. Second line, very similar except the last measure is here. They didn't use the G. And then they're saying 3-5, 5-3, and 4-2. I find that awkward. It's doable, it's just awkward. But if you do a 4-2, then you're ending up with 3-1 on the last one. You may not want to do that. You'll have to decide which way you want to do it. The last 2 notes there on the second line, it's 5-3 to 4-2 or 4-2 to 3-1. A little awkward either way, but you pick which awkward you want. Now, last line. Let's look at this. They're saying start with third finger and do this. It's okay if you don't mind the thumb on the B flat. I do. So I finger it this way. I start with second finger. 3, 2, 1, and then cross over and put second finger on the B flat. 4, and then 3 on the A flat. Like so. And you can try that fingering out if you like it. The tricky part about those first 2 measures there in the last line, not just fingering, but the fact that both hands are playing 8th notes and they're not the same notes. They're in harmony with each other. So you have the right hand up here. Leave out the grace note for a minute just to... And that's what you have, that second measure. So the different rhythm too. So you have to work that out very slowly and very carefully. Then once you get that, put the grace note back in. Play the grace note. I play the grace note with the G. Just very quickly. In the last measure on page 180, again the diminuendo on here, you can do this more easily in the left hand because of the 8th notes. Just get a little softer. And then you're ending down. You're going down to a soft. Because it's tied, or it's not tied, but it's connected to the next note. The first note on 181, it's all connected as a phrase. Then at the top of page 181, let's look at these 8th notes. Their fingering is this. You put your thumb on the black note, you love it already. I find that awkward, I don't like it. I suggest you do this. Second finger on the B flat. Second finger on the A flat, and then a 4-1 for the chord. I like that much better. So that's what I recommend you do. Very slowly. It's 2. 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, and 4, 1. And again, the 2 hands have different stuff going on at the same time. Don't you love it? So starting at the beginning of that measure, remember the rest in the left hand. You have to work those out really, really slowly, and then you can gradually. This is not a fast piece anyway, but it's if you can learn to control both of your hands and make them kind of, each of those phrases kind of shaped independently, it adds so much. It actually sounds like a duet. It's just wonderful. It's just. Second line. Left hand, look at this. You got 2 voices going on. You got the D and the C. Dotted half note, you're going to hold them down for the whole measure. The G goes to an F sharp at the same time. So it's here. And that's important. And the rest of it, you've got the same. At the bottom, the last two measures, I like their fingering, because that in the left hand, that's a chord, and that's the fingering for the chord. Fourth finger on the B flat. Yeah. So again, I don't know that you need to play with me with this, because if you can read this level of music, you ought to know what the notes are by now. Can you learn it well enough to really bring out the music, and you're not just playing notes. It's not just mechanical. It's here. Etc. Experiment with it and have some fun with this piece.